All right, folks. I don't know what we're gonna get with this one. I do not enjoy Hatch's attack. I know that I'm really selling the video here, but this is Hatch's attack. So if you're not familiar with Hatch's attack, it is one of those maps that it feels like usually the attackers are just, it's rough, but this is on pub play, so we can actually take a look at the. It takes a while for this one to get rolling. So let's see. All right, we have our officers mostly unmuted. It looks like some people who are on officer bailed out, or they got voted out already. That's a little hard to believe. It seems pretty early for folks to bail, but we'll try to mute just about everybody else other than our officers and a few other folks. Anyways, Hatch's attack is just, it's rough. The attackers only have 3 flags because they have sharpshooter regiment with sharps, and you can say, well, they got sharps, that's great. It is, but a lot of the terrain is not conducive to it. This is Hatch's attack, and the attackers, they start at the bottom, so that's the Union. The point of contention, as you can see, it's right up there. It's kind of right outside this cornfield. Yeah, you can wrap around to the right, so we're in the orchard. You can go a little ways, and you move up here, and you can do a drive-by here. This isn't great sharps shooting territory. And then the back half of the map, the CSA half, is pretty much all woods. Now, this side over here is open, and the rocks out here are not terrible places to skirmish. And so there's a little bit of goodness, but it kind of feels like, man, you know, if we got these sharps rifles, we want it on a map like Hooker's Push, where we can use them, or, you know, other maps where Pry Forward, for example, where the stuff works out. It seems like they work out a lot better. So, anyways, we're here. You'll see the sharpshooters. They have the green, the Burdan. Hope I'm saying that right. Uniforms, and you can see that they're mixed in here with the infantry. That's not a bad idea. If it feels like sharps are a bit underpowered at close range, you have the rank and file there. I don't think the red caps, which I think are Zuovs here, I think those are Union Zuovs. I don't think they get 42s, but the CSA absolutely has 42s. So on the closer range engagements, they'll be able to use those, and I believe they have some range options as well. I don't remember if it's 55s or 53s at least, but anyways, so that's about the size of it. The CSA was a bit spread out because you do have to watch. Did the Union give a 3-front push? They did not, and so Viceroy is leading the group over here. They're going to show up probably at some point on this group's flank. You can do this for a bit against them, but you don't want to hang out here. And so the CSA has not brought their full complement, and I did not check. It's 147 to 142, and so that just makes a bad situation worse for the Union. But let's see if they can pull it out. You know, I haven't planned it this way, but the Union has frequently had a rough go early on in a lot of these battles, and at least in pubs, they frequently have bounced back. So let's see if they can do it again here. But they're not going to be able to stay over here long for the reasons you can see. And it looks like they already vacated the rocks in the center at just the right time. Looks like the CSA is willing to go in on a charge. They're kind of built up all around the Union here, which they should. Am I missing the 3rd flag? Nope. Well, I saw some Burdan in here, which means, oh, so the Union, they took the 3rd flag in and they lost it. So, as is the case on most maps, when you have 3 flags, usually it's because you get some sort of benefit, like sharps rifles or sharps carbines, but usually the kind of counterplay to that is that you have 1 fewer flags. So attackers in particular need to have their flags. And I feel like when you got only 3 and you're always down 1, you can't really be without that one for too long. Good thing it dropped in the corn. Your guys, the Union guys, will know where it is. CSA guys, unless they post people there, it's really hard to defend. And so is the attackers here. You definitely want to have all 3 flags up as long as possible. Alright, so it looks like the CSA is seeing the same things we are. They'll square off one company against one company, or one flag against one flag. If they want to skirmish at long range, that's probably the proverbial cold shootout. And over here, it's going to be maybe a hotter shootout, but you're going to have 3 flags against... Well, right now it's only 1, and I guess that team of 3 is figuring it out. But that is a recipe for losing if you don't get more folks up here. That is a pretty flag, though. And anyways, if you're unfamiliar with the map, or you're just not familiar with what it looks like from up here, this is probably one of the quintessential places the attackers are going to look to hold. It is right on the verge of point. It gives you concealment on the way in, and it gives you some cover in the fence that's there. So all of that is nice. And again, if you lose to the flag, you'll know where it is, but your enemies won't. Alright, we've taken a look at the Earth. It's great. But it looks like... Oh, the CSA lost the flag. There's not really a reason to go that deep. At least none that I know. Oh, no, they didn't. Oh, they ran all the way down. So the CSA can get down to, I believe, just about the corner of that fence that is overlooking that tree line. And they pushed the Union back for now. It seems like the Union got their flag out. The tickets here are actually not terrible for the attackers, but at some point you want to turn this around, and what I suspected was that this group might go up and try to come around, kind of use the hill as a bit of cover and concealment, and then hit this group in the corn from behind.
They're coming up the hill!
Yeah. Like, you gotta know better, man. Right? Level 44. This ain't your first rodeo. But it is Hatch's attack, so you know what? As defenders, I'm sure I'll regret this by the end of the map. Maybe live a little wildly. Volume of fire sure has died off. I'm guessing someone moved and I wasn't paying attention. Maybe did the Union hop out? No, that's CSA. Union just fell back to here.
On the fucking line!
Alright. It does not seem like that is going as well as it could. I think they just need to probably come back here to this point and rinse and repeat, because I think the CSA is trying to stay a bit mobile. They seem to be really guarding this side pretty heavily. No idea if that was a Rambo thing or if that was a TK thing. Anyways, maybe we'll have some skirmishing over here. Those are some sharp looking uniforms.
How do I stand
but,
here?
well, How does one explain that? That just looks like a very understrength unit. Yeah, it is. All right, so we may be crazy, but that's not what's causing that. The Union actually pulled this off. Man, they pulled this one off. The CSA was big over here, and I think we saw Viceroy in the corn over here. Oh, they have absolutely nobody to go after. Well, they can farm Rambos coming in from spawn, so it's a real thing, but somebody here that should have been on, I don't know, picket duty or skirmish duty or someone should have known about this. Union's got to worry about maybe pushing too deep and losing your flags back here. That is one of the downsides of this. But they are in an excellent position. This does not happen in organized play, so I have nothing to compare this to. But these are the so-called cap rocks. This is like the CSA side. Let me tell you, if you're CSA and this is the site you see, this is a bad site. That group still doesn't know the attack is behind them. All right, they do now. Well, and there's usually a CSA group over here. Do they realize what's up? Oh, he's looking now. Hey, these guys aren't all gray. Alright, so you see the Union went down. Wow, yeah, even with that, you just see how the tickets are usually a defender's problem, but yeah, that's not a bad idea. If you can get in and get out and sweep through, not a bad idea. But if, well, that's a CSA flag. That's not too bad. Yeah, this is actually well done. I'm kind of waiting for the CSA to charge in, but yeah, CSA have that position. This is going to quickly turn into a turkey shoot if the Union doesn't choose a side. I think the less bad side right now is over here. And you know what? As Hatch's attack goes, the Union is in this. The CSA has 2 flags down. The CSA could quickly rally. They could probably put their 3 flags into action against the 2 that are up. But instead, it looks like they will have no flags. Or, oh, nope, I lied, 1. But I think it might be a bit late and a bit small. We'll see. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But it's over and done with. A nice flag. And some more of Wright's hospitality. Yeah, I mean, this is the right play. When the defenders have like a fairly, it seems like such a long trek running through the corn, and it just is. But you should definitely scout or skirmish for those flags and make the Union. There's just no easy or cheap way to get those flags, and without getting those flags back up on their own, being down, it's going to take several minutes. Not just for them to despawn, but then to despawn with somebody who can then use them in a productive attack. Otherwise, everybody who spawns main and runs up here, they pretty much got 1 life to live. It's almost like a slightly more generous version of pick control. And this unit here is ripe for the picking. They were small to begin with, but they have no other unit that can spawn in and help them. So, yeah, if you want to shoot somebody on the other team, you probably want to come over here. But it's rough if you're the only unit with a flag, and you're the Union in this case, because you can be charged from here, here, and here. It's a lot. And if you fight them straight up, even with the corn and the fence, and you don't get charged from those woods, and you will because they now know you're there. That's still just a lot of shots coming at you. But yeah, CSA is doing the right thing. You camp those flags. The attackers now have to spend more time. Time is actually not terrible. Again, my rule of thumb is, as the attackers, you want the defenders at engaged before the 27-minute mark, and so they're definitely there. The ratio is not great because the CSA is up by almost a half morale stage, and that can be very rough. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the CSA doesn't realize that they could pick this group. Another thing you could do is when those, if you're the CSA and you know this is the last flag up for the, well, theoretically up for the Union. When those despawn, so you have nothing to guard, rush this group and knock their flag down. So even though the attackers will have 2 flags up here, they'll be down a flag until that one despawns. And if it's close enough to the road, I mean, you don't really know. But all these guys are pretty much playing on 1 life, the one that they have here, without a flag to spawn them in.
We're not doing the same stick. Right, let's go.
Yeah, the CSA can shoot it out. We're gonna go here for some. We'll go for some cinematics, I guess. There we go. Something to do. Again, I was skeptical when I saw Hatches was up here that it might be good, but there's still a lot of map left. They had themselves kind of deployed like they needed to worry. There's like, what, 1 or 2 dudes down here, and that was a friendly dude too. So. We see what the Union did. I guess they figured if we have 1 life, we might as well try to get into a quick melee, get in and get out.
You bastard!
Well, or get in and respawn. It's not a bad idea. You'll probably get some skirmishing, some out of line. Now, you kind of hope not to get caught here if you're the Union, because you probably need to pull out before you get killed.
Yeah, I got you. I hear you.
Charge them, lads!
Or maybe it's just everybody go in, die in formation, and hope to take out more than you lose. And yeah, that can work in the woods, right? In the woods where you have limited. Well, yeah, you're dead. Well, maybe.
You bastards! You bastards! You.
Yeah, that's right. Get some picks back here in the woods. But yeah, defenders can get cut off if they don't know. CSA spawns like way back through those trees. I'd be interested to see what happened. That CSA, I mean, it's cool to have that fat line back there. I guess maybe they're not so informed about what's been going on in the woods behind them. Pretty cinematic. That flag looks pretty good too. Somebody's hitting their shots. I don't know how many. Yeah. He's down about a half morale stage still. Well, the numbers have evened up. Is there anyone left back here? There is a pocket. And maybe they're just Rambo hunting. It doesn't look like it based on the tickets, but yeah, your numbers are so low now. But hey, at least they made some use of theirs. These guys got to pull back, get out of there. They're certainly high enough to know that. looks like the flags despawn, so that you can get a bit of a push going. Did they get? I don't know if it's the sharpshooter flag. I saw several sharpshooters up here. No. Maybe that is the sharpshooter flag and they just pulled it back. I'm not too sure about the flags. Hatches, because I frequently just don't care to play it on either side.
Nobody up that hill right now to where you left.
Unless the attacker's got an actual numerical advantage.
I want us to move up.
It's rough. That's the few times I've seen the attackers generally do well is with a numerical advantage.
Our team needs to push up so maybe we get a better position. Right, boys. At the time.
We got our CSA cinematics.
Quick time. Move up.
Let's say we don't give it to both sides. At the quick time.
It's all right.
Well. Okay. These guys have. I think this is intentional to be in the shadow here. And you can see the second group now moving out over there. And I'm thinking that these are the two bigger groups. So actually that quick time walk, I poo-pooed it. And it actually kind of worked, but CSA is, they're also holding back. Is this a pub line battle? And is that guy in bounds at all? Is he? I mean, I never really tried. I think so. I think over here. Okay, so it's one of those. It's like weird angles, kind of like the fence on Union right at Eastwood Skirmish. There we go. A pub line battle, not planned at all. And you look out in the distance. I mean, some of the stuff you can see is not quite right, but it still looks cool. I don't think very many of those shots found a home. The ones coming in. We're up like another head on those guys, and I think some of those shots were going above us, so take note at home. You can see if the same is true in reverse. That is a pretty fat line. By the way, all right, so we had almost 350 on Cox's push before this. It was like 342, I think. So a little sad, man. But it's Hatches, so I understand why. I didn't know that next up is Anderson's. I'm not sure we'll stick around for that. Maybe. Anderson's, it's a rough 1-2 here for the Union, but I feel like Anderson's, there's at least a chance. So the tick rate here, or churn rate, ticket churn rate, it's not bad. I would say 17 minutes for taking losses for the defender, and they're in 20. You see the challenge now? Well, there's an opportunity. A lot of these guys are too far away, I think, to have good shots on the Union. If the Union stays right there and wheels to deal with them first, and the sharpshooters, where are they? Well, if the sharpshooters had been here, putting shots into their back, they could have pinched that group off before going up here. This might also be one of those rare cases where if taking a knee would completely conceal you,
I'd say
you,
there's around 57 of us, so I'd say we have a pretty good chance.
You might want to advise the guys looking this way or exposing a flank this way to take a knee, aim while kneeling, and then rise and fire and quickly kneel back down. So that group, I think, they've mostly got shot out. Sharpshooters here really need to make their presence felt, and there's not much they need to worry about. They're probably wondering where that group is, if they're counting flags, but they could be a bit more aggressive here. Of course, I know that. They don't know that. Oh, you got a Rambo pick down here? That made the whole trip worth it.
Go down to the back.
Sometimes it works. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. It's odd. It looks like it's slightly more than half a morale stage, and that actually seemed like an okay push for the Union. I mean, attach is attack, right? So it's good is usually going to have to be good enough. And the hope is generally that you just get the CSA in last stand when you're not that far in the final push already, and then maybe win at the last second. Oh, we got a charge from the CSA and the Union. Some of them are kneeling, others are caught out. I think that charge is probably going to carry through, but it doesn't really matter what I think. Will the flag bearer? Nope, flag bearer is going to stand there until he just gets killed. Oh, but I did not see this group, so I love it when the commentator is wrong. That's why I make these. Well done by the Union. The concern is that they would lose the flag. Okay, it's that's a couple of CSA that are just out of line and skirmishing. Oh, I don't know if the Union knows about this. I don't know if the CSA knows about the Union, but they're going all in to get the sharpshooter flag, and they might when it goes up and over because of how you slow. Oh yeah, there's no fence here. Well, then Solomon might get him, but he's going to trade an out of line for an out of line. That's unnecessary because you're almost back to Union spawn anyways. I don't care about that. We can't really care about that saga. But yeah, the Union is a sizable group here. They're without their sharpshooters, but they kind of were without that sharpshooter group for much of this match. So that's rough. They got a CSA flag down, and it's probably going to stay with them. And you know, if the Union knew the opportunity, that CSA group is not down there anymore. Sizable group there with a flag. 2, 3. There's some, but there aren't that many. But again, it's the stuff we know.
Oh, this one was blue.
Yeah, it is. It is a pretty flag. I think I already said that about that one, but shows them somewhat consistent.
Oh, they're here. Independent fire. Independent fire.
Oh,
Right there.
might
Right
want to move up.
company. To the left, more left, northwest.
It's the correct
Shoot,
call
shoot,
out.
shoot.
They are.
Kill the damn playback.
Go back down a little bit. Go back down a little bit.
It can be rough trying to shoot, well, both sides of this. But you got to shoot through the fence, and then you got to hit the top half of the body that's above the half stone. Not impossible, and again, as CSA, if you took like 2 steps back and took a knee, you'd be almost impossible to hit. Yeah, you can go slower. There are downsides to it. I'm generally not going to recommend skirmishing, but if you can do it and have pretty much 100% cover, you want to do it. Union's gone breaking. We'll see though. Like according to the clock I would have in my head, that's okay. That's a lot of CSA. That is a lot, and yet again, sharpshooters have a beautiful flag, but they are just out of position to do anything helpful. So it's really like 2 companies against 4. And I think the CSA saw this. They're waiting for this because they want that flag back. And they're going to go right for the flag, and they're going to get it over there. crews arrive. So actually the Union won this charge at the rocks, probably because this group came out. They're now overrunning that flag. That shouldn't be too hard. If they realize it's up, they can actually cut this group off back here, and they could put that flag down again. I don't. But maybe they just have tunnel vision to get out.
Get rid of that great guy. He's running amongst you.
Could be. The CSA is now on the verge of breaking. It's
Good riddance.
it's almost a half morale stage. All right. So how many down flags we got? We got 2 Union down flag. Is this the? This is the Union. 126th, I believe, has got to be Union. I'm not aware of any triple digit regiments.
It is kind of. Let it be to me, I've been as used.
Good news ought to be is that when the Union gets something of a critical mass, they should be able to creep up and at least get this one. And there are some that are watching it, but up. And no sooner did I say that. Howdy, Wilkes. We have a contingent here from Hampton's Legion, HO. They all read me. Well, now the CSA is in breaking, and that would be about, I'd usually want 9 minutes, and so if it happens at 12, that's okay, but it's still about a half morale stage. I would say that it's a concern, except that it's going to be, I don't think he knew what side he was on. We were all new players once.
I'm going for that flag.
All right, so they're gonna get the flag. Take a few on the way out, but that should be 2.
Yeah, we got a flag back there.
Yeah, we get 2 flags up.
C-O-R-A.
All right.
We're
And
the
now
lot
we're just
more
looking
than you
for
are. Get
number
it.
3, and that's gonna be all 3 that they're gonna get. So this is a pretty typical Hatch's attack. Feels pretty typical at this point. It's just it's not a just rough map for the Union. I know both sides have them. If it's any consolation in organized play, it frequently feels the same way as the Union. Still, looks cool.
Shift right, press T, follow your star.
Oh man, he doesn't know what's coming. Alright, we're not gonna watch 1v. This isn't shift 2. That looks cool. It just does, man. It just does. There we go. And I don't think this fooled anybody. They were waiting for it. This group isn't worried about it at all. Like, you see, they got the flying V there, straight out of the Mighty Ducks. Oh, we're gonna try for a melee. That looks like a CSA flag in the corn, and it is. Oh, the Union broke through. You don't want to take, you don't want to take that flag all the way in. still reloading. Yeah, it's okay. I do it too. You're not in imminent danger in a melee. You can do it. It's a nice spot, right? As long as nobody gets you at an angle where you can't get cover. It's nice high ground. Yeah, so that's the problem with taking a flag in, and also this is the downside of ever going final push in a charge. The defender has not gone last stand. It's always rough. It's a little bit better with the fast respawns, but that's only true if you have all your flags up, and ideally if you have 4 flags up. But it's the worst feeling when you have to charge in, go final push, flags or no flags. It always feels like you're pressed for time then to kill the defenders through your last stand. So I think it would take, at this point, even one more charge just to get the CSA in the last stand. And with less than 3 minutes, that's not going to happen. So and I'm not sure why the devs never adjusted the tickets on this map. It's been like this for a long time. Same thing with Cook's countercharge. I don't understand why the tickets haven't been adjusted there to make it a little bit more competitive. I understand, you know, quote unquote, there are ways to win it as the Union on those, but they're not good. Oh, most likely. Maybe even on River Crossing, which is certainly one of the tougher ones for the CSA, but I've just always wondered the wisdom of keeping things the way they are when, in terms of actual team play, it's got to be less than 10% win rate. Certain sides of that, even if it's not 10%, it's really low. Like, why? Alright, so some Union going through a final push. Oh yeah, a final push. Very much so. But if you're looking for an average Hatch's attack, I would say that this is about the average. It's a good job. The Union coming up through the backside. That'll make it interesting here at the end. Of course, I've counted the Union out, and I've only done a few of these in almost all the videos, and they frequently come back to win. I'm not sure that this is that. Being down at this point, at least 2 flags makes that really hard to do. Though, you know, people get the word to spawn on the company that has their flag up. Maybe. You'd have to get the CSA's flags down, keep them down. It could be done. I don't think it's going to be.